is on with us. Reggie, what do you think about Durant unanimously winning Finals MVP? Did that help to validate his decision to bolt OKC for Golden State?
Well, I'm sure if you're an OKC fan and that fan base, they will say no. But bottom line, and Coach and Sam, you can attest to this, we talk about championships in this league. And having the opportunity to play 18 years in the NBA and come up short quite a few times, I understand the value of winning championships. And this is Kevin Durant's 10th year, and he had been to the finals once, obviously losing to Miami and LeBron James. And it's been a while since he had been back. And I'm sure he was frustrated. He makes the decision, and he is the one who gets that team over the hump. And I like what Draymond Green said last night. You know, we lost the championship last year being up 3-1. But if the consolation prize is getting Kevin Durant, they'll lose every single time because they have a shot now to go on a string to win 3 or 4, to make up for that one championship. So is he validated? And looking at the numbers, absolutely.
Hey, Reg, looking at the roster and the style of play with Golden State, is this what the future's all about in the NBA? Or can a team like Smith and Dale Davis and yourself, obviously, great teams that you played on, can that return and be a championship-type team, or are we all looking at small basketball from now on?
I think we're looking at small basketball. You really don't need a dominant center anymore to be successful. I think the Bulls were on the early side of this, winning with Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. And then we went to the dominant big man with Shaq and having Kobe as his wingman. But if you look at the success of the team over the last, I would say, 5 to 8 years, small ball, and having players that can play multiple positions. I mean, Draymond Green has really changed the power forward position because not only can he guard point guards and switch out on those high screen roles, but when they go to that death lineup, when he is playing center, he can play most big men. And he can close out to the three-point line. He moves his feet, and easily is an early consideration for Defensive Player of the Year. So small ball, I believe, is what we're going to see, but guys that are interchangeable that can play multiple positions. And that's what makes the Warriors so challenging to play at both ends of the floor because you can move KD to 4 or even 5. You can slide Clay to a 3. You can move Steph to a 2. They're so interchangeable, let alone we all talk we talk about how great their offense is. This is one of the better defensive teams that we've seen, especially the run that they had, as you mentioned, 16-1 during this postseason. They were so locked in defensively, and that, to me, that's what separated them from everyone else this year.
Reggie, now I want you to put your GM hat on. You talked about small ball here today, the 3-ball era. I agree with you. But when you go back to Game 1 in the Western Conference Finals in San Antonio, and it was up 23, and they made a conscious effort to pound the ball inside, you as a GM, if you can't find 4 small guys to compete and score and defend like Golden State, what type of contrasting team would you look at putting together? Would you look at what San Antonio was doing in that first game as a different contrasting style of play, trying to beat Golden State? Or would you go out and try to find 4 or 5 guys, like you just talked about, able to play multiple positions and play that small ball style and put them on the court in hopes that they can beat a team like Golden State?
It's going to be very difficult to find players of a Kevin Durant, who's 6'11", 7'2", 7'3" with the wingspan, a Draymond Green, who's so versatile at 6'8", and Klay Thompson and Steph. It's going to be hard to find small ball players. But on the flip side, it's very difficult to find guys that are like LaMarcus Aldridge and Pau Gasol, who can stretch you out to that three-point line and have size, but can also play with their back to the basket. That's why trying to find a team, if you're a general manager or a president, and you're trying to find a team that's going to be able to compete versus Golden State, is going to be very challenging because they are so potent at the offensive end with that three-point shot. It opens up everything with Steph Curry going crazy with the dribbling and getting all the way to the cup. Everyone thought this year, pound the Warriors down low because they don't have the size. They lost Ezeli. They lost Bogut. But now, when you've got so many teams playing small ball, it's very difficult to find guys that are that interchangeable that can play at that level.
Reggie, Klay Thompson went out of his way this year to say and do the right things on the court. Do you buy long-term that Klay Thompson, assuming this core stays together the way it is, will be okay being the third option on this squad beyond 2 years from now?
I sure hope so, because this is his ticket to the Hall of Fame. And you know Durant's going into the Hall of Fame, and you know Steph is going into the Hall of Fame. Well, Klay has a chance to be a Hall of Fame type player because he's going to have the rings to back it up. And he has a few games on his resume that are just simply spectacular. So I know, being the third or fourth fiddle might not sit well with him, but I think he's going to continue to make all-star games, and he's going to continue to go deep in the playoffs and make finals run. So why turn over the apple cart? I mean, to be the third or fourth string on this type of team when, you can take nights off and other guys can carry you, and other nights it's going to be your night, to have a chance to win 3, 4, 5 rings and compete at a high level, to me, that should be the lure for Klay Thompson. I know he wants to be the man, and he was the second fiddle behind Steph, and now he's the third behind KD and Steph. But, man, Sam, does have a chance to win all these championships? Man,
And get
I'll be
paid.
the third or fourth fiddle.
Absolutely.
I'll be the third or fourth fiddle.
Reggie, we appreciate you joining us here. Enjoy your offseason.
I appreciate it, gentlemen. Be well.
Good stuff there from the Hall of Famer, Reggie Miller.